What then happened, the firearm went off, or the shot went off, and then there was this separation. As there was a scar shot, shocked them, as it just shocked me as well.
Okay. Then your version is that you...
West Palm? No.
And your testimony is that you ran out of the house into the neighbor's yard, correct?
Wasiyongena ke kwamakhelwane?
Yebo.
Yes.
And your testimony further is that as you run into the neighbor's yard, the second suspect armed with a knife then pursues you, correct?
Nanjengoba ungena ke noma usiyojompela khona ke kwamakhelwane lo wesibili ke ophethe ummese uyakusukela.
Yebo.
Yes.
Okay, before we even go further with that, now you say the second suspect is armed with a knife in that melee or scuffle that happens in that kitchen. Was anyone from the house stabbed with a knife or a sharp object during that scuffle in that kitchen?
Nanjengoba ushoke ukuthi kulesi scuffle esasenzeke ekitchen lo wesibili ke wayephethe ummese ngabe ukhona yini umuntu owagwazeka kulabo ababesendlini? No. I don't remember anyone having been stabbed.
And just that, so that we can't say it was one-dimensional, the scuffling that was happening there, because I hear you saying that people in the house were assaulting the two armed suspects. Were the two armed suspects fighting back, retaliating in a way, in any manner, as the scuffle is happening in the kitchen?
Kuloso scuffle uyashoke ukuthi babeshaywa labantu ababili njengoba beshaywa nje nake bamile nje kuphela noma nabo ke bayayiphindisela ke bayalwa nabo.
Ngiyacabanga kudabo phela babezama ngendlela babezama ngayo ukuthi bayivikele nabo.
I think they were also
baze bavele bami nje abantu bebashaya ngeinto. Ngeke ngisho ukuthi babenzani kodwa nabo khona bakwenza nabo ukuzama ukuziveza ubusenzo uyambona ukuthi isigaqagaqa nganani.
I think that they were in a way trying to protect themselves. They were not just going to stand there with people assaulting them with crutches, and they could, and as you could see what kind of a tough guy Senzo was.
Now, in respect to this picture in photo 15, you are on this side, would I be correct?
Ningala. Ningala.
Mina.
Yes, you.
Yebo.
And your vantage point is visually this way into the kitchen. Into the kitchen, correct?
Yep. That's correct.
Now, the shot goes off. There's a, like you say, a separation that happens. You exit the house. Where's the second suspect that pursues you in relation to this picture as you leave the house?
Uyaphuma ke manje wena ke emuva kokuthi isibhamu siqhumileke lona ke ukusukelayo ke lo wesibili ukuphi nendawo uma ngaba wena usuyophuma ke lapha yana esiqapheni.
Noma ngisho ngishilo ukuthi mina umuntu engambona ngiphuma ka kusenzo kodwa ngesikhathi kuqhuma isibhamu number 2 lo suspect number 2 wayesase kitchen naye.
As I'm saying that
nje ngidlula kubona number 2 na number 1 no Senzo bonke nje bade bemile.
As I'm saying that the person that I saw as on my way out was Senzo, but as I went out of the door I went past them, suspect number 1 Senzo and suspect number 2, they were all there.
Now you are well aware now that the people that you jumped into their yard was Mr. Ngashe Senior, who's now departed, and the son.
Sesiyazi noma into esiyaziyo ke le ukuthi laba owajompela ke egcekeni labo noma emzini wabo ke ubaba uNqatshe indodana yakhe kodwa ke ubaba uNqatshe yena ke akasekho ke manje.
Sengiyazi manje bengazi.
Now I know, I didn't know.
Bengazi nokuthi washona.
I didn't know that he had passed on.
In court this term as well. So be that as it may, Kaya Nqatshe has testified before you now in this trial. And he testified as follows regarding your interaction between yourself, him and his father.
Ukhaya Nqatshe ke usenikezile ke ngobufakazi bakhe lana ke enkantolo usho lokho kulandelayo ke mayelana nokuhlangana kwakho naye kanye nobaba wakhe,
that he, as he was working in his room, he heard a noise, commotion coming out of the Khumalo household.
Uthi ke esebhizi ke sebenza ke erumini lakhe ke wezwa ke umsindo noma lokho ke akubiza ke i-commotion phuma khona ke lapho kwaKhumalo.
That he then got his interest piqued by that noise, the commotion, that he went to his bedroom window to look as to what was happening in the Khumalo household.
Kwase lokho kokumphoqa ke noma kwenza ke ukuthi ke abheke ke noma sebenzise ke ifastela le camera lakhe ukuthi abheke ukuthi kwenzekani kwaKhumalo.
That from his vantage point, from his window, through one of these two windows that you see here of the kitchen in the Khumalo household, he could see a person wearing a white t-shirt against the window that is facing inside the Khumalo household, who was inside the kitchen.
Uthi ke njengoba yena ke esekamereni lakhe ebukeke esebenzisa ifastela lakhe wakwazi ukuthi aboneke kwelinye lamafastela amabili wabonayo lapha nesithombeni. Ubona uthi elinye lawo akasho ukuthi elinye lawo ke ubona umuntu ogqoke iskipa esimhlophe uze ngathi ke uze ngomhlane wakhe ke obondeni noma odongeni loluya lase kitchen.
That he and his father decided to investigate the commotion that was happening from the Khumalo household, and as they were nearing the passage, they heard in fact, let me use they. He heard a sound that seemed like a breakage of not even cutlery. What we call these terms, Mr. Missy? Sorry? A porcelain falling and breaking on the floor.
Uthi ke bese kulokho yena nobaba wakhe ke bezama ukuthi bayobheka ke noma batholeke ukuthi kwenzekani kwaKhumalo ila ezwa khona ke lomsindo ke porcelain leyo ke iwa phansi ke iphuka.
And at that moment when they were about to leave their door, that's when they saw you already in their yard, having just jumped in their yard.
Uthi ke uma sebezophuma ke esicabheni ke kubo ila sebebona wena ke khona ke usujompele ke so ungaphakathi ke egcekeni labo.
That he was armed with an iron bar or an iron rod ready to strike, but you told him that you are not the one, according to the interpretation that was used, I don't want to misuse that word, that you are not the one to be accused. Exactly what did you say to him so that we clear that one up?
Am I still talking to in
No, I'm just asking you in relation to your interaction with Kaya. Now they find you've jumped over in their yard. I want to clarify the word that you said, don't, to that effect. I'm not saying you said exactly that, don't harm me. I'm not maybe a thug, maybe a thief, maybe something to that effect. What did you say to him?
Uthi ke esezogadla ke ngoba izilungiselela ukuthi esezogadla ke ngaleyo nsimbi ke awayeyiphethe khona ke wakusho ke wena ke angisonisela angisona isigebengu khona nje athi ke wakusho wena ke.
Okay, firstly ukhaya ngiyamthanda ukuthi afika testify la.
Firstly
khona kushoyo in relations to into engishilo.
Firstly I like Kaya number one that he came to testify here because he said something which I also said.
Number one. Number two, lesikhathi ngijomba wangijomba yebo uqinisile weza wasahlangana naye engangithemba ukuthi nguba.
Okay, and he's telling the truth that when I met up with him he didn't trust as to who I was.
Ngayichaza ngazisho kuyena igama lesibongo ngazisho ukuthi ngihamba noba.
Okay, I mentioned my name and my surname and with whom I came there.
And noma ngasakukhumbuli in special words or in exactly what I said, but ngiyakhumbula ukuthi ngathi sibanje inkunzi or sibanje inkunzi ngasho nje kodwa ngasebenzisa igama lenkunzi.
Although I can't remember specifically on in exact words as to what I said, but I did mention that we were being robbed.
And ekushoni kwami lokho wakhombisa ukuthi uyangikholwa.
And in saying that,
ngazaqhubeka afune ukungishaya or lento ayifuna ukuyenza.
And in saying that, he believed me because he never proceeded or went along with the intention of him wanting to assault me.
Ngoba ngikhumbula ukuthi ngaze ngakhomba ngoba lo owayemude wayehla ngomgaqo ngamkhomba ehla ngomgaqo.
Because I remember that I even pointed, because the tall one was still going down the road, so and I pointed.
Now, with respect to that aspect of what you told him, not the introduction part and all of that, but about what was happening in the Khumalo household, he says you only told him that there was a problem or a big problem in the Khumalo household, but you never expanded on that.
Yena ke umechaza ke ukhaya uthi nje kuphela kwento wayisho ke wena ukuthi unenkinga noma kunenkinga enkulu ke kwaKhumalo, kodwa akazange aze achaze kabanzi ke ngalokho.
Hayi okushiwo kuyena lokho ngiyacabanga ukuthi nami uyangizwe ngikushoyo.
That's what he's saying, and I think you're also hearing what I'm saying.
And that you did not even spend a long time talking to him. The sooner you jumped in, after you explained whatever brief explanation you did, you jumped back into the Khumalo household.
Nokuthi ke futhi awuzange uchithe nesikhathi eside ke lapho kibo egcekeni kubona egcekeni uthe nje ekamuva kokuthi ke ukuchazile noma ukushilo lokushilo wase futhi ke ujompela khona kwaKhumalo.
Hayi ke angizange ngize ngijombe kwaKhumalo immediately.
No,
Khumalo ngajomba ngoba
no, correct.
Khumalo ngajomba ngoba ngizwa ukumesesiza ukumemeza kuphuma uMakakheli.
No, I never jumped back to the Khumalos immediately. I only jumped back when I heard the screams from the screams and also Kelly's mother coming out.
That he wanted to jump with you into the yard, but he didn't because of some explanation that his father gave to him that was never set on record here.
Nokuthi ke kwakuyinhloso yakhe ke ukuthi ajombe nawe ajompele kwaKhumalo, kodwa ke ngenxa yalokho awakutshelwa ubaba wakhe ke okungashiwongeke la enkantolo akakwenzanga lokho.
Kodwa ngiyamkhumbula mina uthi yena umuntu wayengisiza.
But I do recall that he is the person who assisted me
Sesingaphakathi endlini.
when we were inside the house.
Qeda ngena nami endlini.
When I just entered the house.
That is not disputed. What he says is that he did not jump with you immediately as you jump into the Khumalo household.
Akuphikiswa ke lokho akushoyo ukuthi akajompanga immediately noma ngaleso sikhathi ke uma wena usujompela ubuyela khona kwaKhumalo.
Okay, ngiyakuzwa.
Okay, I hear you.
Yes, but that he assisted you. In fact, he even said that he assisted you and the others together with community members to take Senzo Meyiwa from where he was lying closer to the passage towards the X6 and load him into the X6
Uyakusho ke na ke ukuthi wakusiza esiza wena nabanye ke abalapha endlini kanye nabanye ke omakhelwane ke noma abantu abahlala khona lapho ke ukuthi niqhubule yena ke uSenzo bese nimfaka kwiX6.
Yebo ngiyakuzwa.
Yes, I hear you.
Now, as you run out of the Ngashe house, as you run out of the Khumalo household, you're being chased by what you say is the second suspect. Where was Longwetwala's red polo motor vehicle at that time?
Na njengoba usujompela ke kwaKhumalo ubuya khona le kwaNgcatshe yayikuphi nendawo ipolo kaLongwe ngaleso sikhathi leso uma usubuyela khona kwaKhumalo?
Yayikhona engaphandle.
It was there, it was outside.
And from your testimony and Zandile Khumalo's testimonies that Longwe had already ran outside of the house, did you see him anywhere in the Khumalo household, perhaps on the street, outside? Where was Longwetwala? Did you see him?
Ubusushilo kubufakazi bakho noZandile naye ke usho lokho kubufakazi bakhe ke ngaba wayekuphi ke uLongwe la ngaphandle, ngaba wambona yini ngaphandle, wambona la egcekeni kwaKhumalo?
Angimkhumbula ngimbonanga nje ngimazi ukuthi wayapi.
I don't remember him, I didn't see him, I don't know where he went to.
And as you ran outside as well, just in the vicinity outside the Khumalo household, did you see a Honda Ballad motor vehicle parked outside there?
Usuphuma ke khona lapho kwaKhumalo ngaba ikhona yini imoto eyiHonda Ballad owayibona?
Anginakanga ngizange ngizenginaka. I think
I didn't take note.
Ngizange ngizenginaka nje. Ngangibaleka mina ngoba ngijaha umuntu angizange ngizenginake.
I was just running because I was being chased by someone. I didn't take note.
Now, just to clarify this, with respect of the jumping back into the Khumalo household, you say you only jumped once you heard Makhumalo screaming out, correct?
Uthi waphuma ke noma wajompela ke kwaKhumalo nkathi usuzwa ke uma Khumalo ememeza.
Yebo.
Yes.
And you ask Makhumalo, where's the first suspect that was carrying the gun, and her reply is that he's gone, correct?
Wasubuza wena ke kumaKhumalo ukuthi kuphi ke lo woqala wayephethe isibhamu waphendula ke na wathi usehambile.
Yebo.
Yes.
Now, just on this aspect, just to polish it up before I move on to something else, when you jump to the Nqashes, you explain to them who you are, that there's a problem. Did you ask them to call the police, or at that stage, did you ask them to call the police?
Uma
Because there's been
ujompela
a
ke
shooting incident in the yard.
uma usujompela kwaNqatshe ingaba wabacela yini ukuthi bafoneleke amaphoyisa noma iambulance?
Hayi cha ngikhumbuli ngokusho lokho kubona. Ngoba ngithukile nami angikhumbuli nje kodwa ngikusho kubona.
No, I don't remember saying that to them. I think I was in shock, but I don't remember
Ngachaza
saying
nje
that to them.
ukwenzakalani endlini but angikhumbuli ngithi akufonela amaphoyisa.
I just mentioned to them as to what was transpiring or happening in the house, but I don't remember asking them or telling them to call the police.
And your testimony is that the second person chasing you is running down the street, and you point them out to who exactly?
Ubani lo owakhomba kuyena ngithi uthi uyasho ukuthi wakhomba uyakhumbula ukhomba ngoba lo wayekusukela wayegijima ngomgaqo wakhomba ubani lo owamkhombisa?
Ngangikhomba kubona laba nganginabo la egcekeni.
The people that I was with on the premises.
The Nqashes.
Yebo.
And what do they do about that information? Did they see that suspect?
Bambona
According to you.
lo msola lo uma
Angisazi
wakhombisa.
ke ngecahla bungabuza yena nje badela.
I don't know. I think maybe you could have asked him as seeing that he was here.
Now, as you are talking to them, the Nqashes, both of them, did you tell them that the first suspect is still inside the house, in the Khumalo household?
Nkathi ukhuluma nabo ke laba bakwaNqatshe ingaba washo yini ukuthi lo woqala usengaphakathi endlini kwaKhumalo?
Hayi cha ngikhumbuli ngisho.
No, I don't remember saying.
Now, my good sir, I just want to take you now to the statements that you made to the police regarding this incident. You remember Mr. Baloyi asked you and you said you've made several statements, and according to my count, you made 4 statements regarding this incident.
Uma ngibala ke mina ke ziwu4 istatement owazenza mayelana nalesigameko.
But I'll only touch on 2. Perhaps my learned colleagues will touch on others, but for my purposes of choose 1 and 2, I'll touch only on 2 of your statements.
Mina imbili kuphela ke engizokhuluma ngazo.
The first one will be A26. And perhaps if we start at the back of that document before we qualify it, we'll see that on the date stamp it says Fosloras 2014 10/28. The time is 12:45.
Uyabona isikhathi nedate. Yes, I see that.
Now, I want you to clarify that aspect of the date, because according to your testimony is that you made this statement the following day, correct?
Ngicela ke uchaze ke ngedate ngoba wena ke kufakazi bakho uthe istatement wasenza which is late 27.
Yebo.
Yes.
Angiyacabanga ukuthi ubhala iphoyisa la akubhalanga mina. Kodwa ke mina statement sami ngasenza ngakusasa ngiyakukhumbula lokho ngoba imini engayisa mina eFosloras.
I think the police officer wrote here, not me. But what I do know is that I went the following day to the police station in Fosloras. I went there myself.
Okay, that will be clarified by the set officer, Mr. Steve Pakule, but I'm not going to dwell much on that one. Now, you remember on the 27th, you say you, after inquiring about the ID from Kelly Kumalo, you then went to Fosloras for the purposes of this document, correct?
ushilo ke izolo ukuthi emuva kokuthi wawuye kuKelly ke mayelana nodaba lwe-ID wase uya khona ke la eFosloras.
Ngangiye kaKelly hayi kuKelly.
Yes,
Ngaya
no,
after naKelly so
yes.
kuzokudida ke lapho kancane.
So sorry, clarify for me.
I went
to kaKelly qala kuyofuna uKelly ngangamthola, then proceeded eFosloras,
Yes.
then went kaKelly kuyokulook endlini kaKelly malibathi la hlala khona noSenzo for the ID.
I first went to Kelly's parental home, which is Fosloras.
Yes.
Then after that, I went to the police station. From the police station, I then went to Kelly's house
For the ID.
for the
So the
ID.
statement is in between the
Yes.
two trips. Okay, that's fine. And now this statement was taken by this officer Pakule. In what language was this statement taken?
Wakusetshenziswa luphi ulimi la kule statement?
English.
English,
And did you, and
which is what is written here, English.
now besides what is written, you and the person taking the statement, were you talking purely English or English mixed with another language?
Nani mixa noma kwa English yodwa?
Angeke ngisakhumbula but obviously mhlawumbe ngakumix English nesiZulu.
I want to
I'm not
remember.
fluent in Lesotho.
I want to remember, maybe
Sisejota.
I was mixing English
So
and
angeke
Zulu.
ngizengazi ngisakhumbula.
Okay, that's fine. And how was this statement taken? Were you narrating the events of the 26th of October 2014 to the officer taking it, and then after that he was writing it down?
Ukhuluma wena abhale phansi yena.
Yebo ngangikhuluma bhale ayibeke futhi naye ngendlela ayibeka ngayo.
And he would also put it in the manner in which he's putting it.
And then after having taken all of the information from you and the police officer, writing it down in a statement, before you appended your signature on the document, was this document read back to you?
Eseqedileke ubhala ngaphambilini kokuthi nje acela ukuthi usayinde, ingaba wakufundela yini lokho akubhale phansi?
Kwi-statement engangibhala sikhona engafundela zona khona engafundelwanga zona. So
From this-
la ngiyacabanga mhlawumbe ukuthi ngafundela nginayisho ngoba kwi-statement sokuqala if I'm not mistaken.
That was the
From
first.
the statement, the statements that I deposed
Bangasakhumbuli
of,
kahle kodwa ngoba kwi-statement sokuqala mhlawumbe ngafundela.
Okay, I thought we were still talking. Now, let's go through. Oh, sorry, before I go there. Now, having been satisfied with the contents of this document, did you append your signature on the document?
uma sewenemeke ngalokhu akushoyo noma ukufundelweke, ingabe wase uyasayinda ke? Ngithi usibhalile uyakufundela onelisekile ke ukuthi lokho akubhalile iloko engikushilo wase uyasayina.
And then at the bottom of each page, you will see there's what appears to be a signature, and towards the bottom left
Bheka ipage
of the
ngayo.
last of the last page, is that your signature?
Yes.
Yebo imina ke sayindile lapha ezansi kwi-page ngayodwa.
My Lord, with leave of the court, I'm not sure because my learned colleagues on the left are whispering that they are also going to use the very same statements. So for brevity purposes, perhaps I read it as is into the record. Then when they do their cross-examinations, it's not necessary to refer back to, but they can only direct to the parts. But I'll seek direction from the court.
Rim,
Yes.
I was told I'm giving evidence.
Okay.
All right.
All right. No, that's fair.
Stop.
So, from that premises, I'll have to read it all, although I think some of the writing is not legible and notes were made on the statement. And it reads, Fosloras Cast 63610 of 2014, it's titled A26 and it says and reads,
Right.
yeah, because we're going to ask it to be admitted as some example. It's your
Oh, what's before?
And it reads, I'm Thokozisi Twala, states under oath, I'm an adult male with ID number. I'm not going to read it into record, and I'm not going to read your address into record and your cell number because I'm not sure whether it's current or not. And paragraph 2 thereof, it says, Sunday the 2014, 10:26, I was with Senzo Meyiwa, Kelly Kumalo, and Zandile Kumalo. We left from Senzo's place in Malbatten to Soweto, where Kelly was going to perform. We were driving in Senzo's BMW X6. Paragraph 3, we came back from Soweto at about 16:30 and went to Katlehong at my place where I needed to change my clothes. After changing my clothes, we went to Spread View where Senzo said he wanted to collect his friend from KwaZulu-Natal, Tumelo. After collecting Tumelo, Senzo wanted to show us his child, and we went to Kelly's mom's place at Fosloras. We found Kelly Kumalo's mom with the two kids, Chingo and Christian. What is this?
Before.
Council, sorry. What are you taking in the statement?
My Lord, only two aspects.
Yeah, pinpoint the aspects because
Yes, that's what I was saying.
unless you're saying the whole statement
Yes.
is contradictory.
No, not the whole statement, my Lord.
Yeah.
Let me go to the aspects, then they will deal with the evidence. Now, the first point that I want to raise with you, you remember that, and it's at paragraph 3 thereof, which I will read. In fact, I've already read that we came back from Soweto at about 16:30 and went to Katlehong at my place where I needed to change my clothes. After changing my clothes, we went to Straight View where Senzo said he wanted to collect his friend from KwaZulu-Natal, Tumelo. You see that?
Uyayibona le ndawo ndiyayifunda lapho podcast ngithi.
Yebo.
Yes.
Now, in your testimonial evidence, viva voce in court, you testified that the reason that you went to Katlehong was so that Senzo Meyiwa can drop you off, correct?
Ushilo-ke ukuthi inhloso yokuthi-ke uhanjiswe usuke eKatlehong kwakuwukuthi bayokushiya lapho.
Yebo.
Yes.
But in paragraph 3, as I've just read it now, that is not what the stated purpose is.
Kodwa akusikona-ke okushiwo paragraph 3 lokho.
I think musu khuluma into njengoba ngikhuluma obviously ngithi fanele ngithathe from detail to detail mangibhala la obviously ngabhala lokho engangikushilo makuthi usho kanjalo obegcineni ukushintsha ngashintsha ukuye spread view sayi spread view ukuyolanda utumelo sakho ukulanda utumelo so ayikho into ebhaliwe la out of context yokuthi zonke lezi zinto engishilo la engifitexify ngazo zamanga noma zikanjani ngoba into eyodwa le ibhalwe la nento engishoyo.
When I speak here or when I give my evidence, then I go into detail about what had happened. But from which is written here, there is nothing that is out of context about what had happened. Indeed, I ended up changing my clothes. Indeed, we ended up going to Spread View. Indeed, we picked Tumelo up.
Now let's go to paragraph 7 thereof, and I'm reading. We were busy chatting when suddenly two black males walked in. I'm not sure if the door was closed or not. Kelly was standing on the passage between sitting room and the kitchen at that time. The first one had a firearm in his hand, and he said, and I quote, "Footsec, cell phones, and money." Those codes. Do you see that?
Uyakubona lokho?
Yes.
Yes.
Earlier on, I asked you, other than cell phones and money, did that person use a swear word? And you said no.
Ngikubuzile-ke ngaphambilini ukuthi lo muntu lona noma loyo muntu loyo-ke wayisebenzisa yini inhlamba wabo sithi wona-ke cha.
Yet again ngiyasho ukuthi lento ebhaliwe la into eyenzeka la when it comes to Footsec ngiyacabanga ukuthi ngangaloku ngakuchaza lokho ukuthi igama elithi Footsec angisalukhumbuli libhaliwe I mean elisho but cell phone nomani into ayisho.
But I remember saying that previously that I don't remember or recall the word what that is written there, which you just mentioned, but I recall cell phones and money being said by the person.
If you say you don't recall, it may have happened, but now you don't recall it.
Kungenzeka ukuthi wakusho ukuthi nje ukukhumbule wena.
Ngasho kanjalo.
You can say so.
Let's then move on to paragraph 8 thereof, and then it reads as follows. I was seated next to Senzo, and we all froze as it came as a shock. Zandi's boyfriend jumped onto the suspect and grabbed the firearm. You see that?
Yebo.
Yes.
This is not what you testified about in Viva Voce here in court.
Asikonake okushilo lokho kubufakazi bakho la enkantolo.
Yet again futhi lo ayibhalile wabhala indlela abhala ngayo, and lento futhi before kuze kuzwela senkantolo ya lo mistake ka grab wa rectify wafaka upush. So lo ayibhalile wafaka ugrab, mina ngangithe push, and lo push kwabuya kwaziwa kumina kwathatha istatement isalo grab no push kwa rectify kungakaqali kwale nkantolo.
Yes, once again it's the person that wrote down, but even way before or before the matter was before court, there was a subsequent statement that was taken in rectifying the grab, and pushed was then inserted in the other statement.
So you see where my dilemma is. This is your contemporaneous statement that you made when the incident was still fresh in your mind, correct?
The statement leso wasenza konke lokhu kusekusha noma kuse fresh emqondweni wakho angithi.
Ungakusho lokho?
Yes, I would say that.
Now let's go to paragraph 9 thereof, and I continue to read, and it says, then Senzo jumped in as well, and they started assaulting the suspects, screaming at the same time. At that moment, I grabbed Christian Kelly's child from the kitchen to the sitting room area so that he doesn't get hurt. You see that?
Yebo.
Yes.
Did Senzo also join in the assault by Longwetwala that you are referring to in your statement?
Ngalendlela ekubhalwe ngayo la ku statement uSenzo wase naye ke ejoina ke ukushaywa ke kwalomsola lokhu ukushaywa uLongwe ngalendlela ekubhalwe ngayo.
Ngiyacabanga ukuthi la kukho la kuthiwa uSenzo wangena wa assault with uLongwetwala, ngibone la kubhalwe lokho.
I don't see it being written here what you are saying. Well, Senzo and Longwe, where does Longwe fit with regards to the assault? Because I don't see it in the statement.
So I'm reading on from the previous paragraph that I read from. You first said Longwe jumped and grabbed the firearm.
Ngiqala ke konke lokho ngiqala lana la ukhona ke uLongwe wase egrabha noma ebamba ke isibhamu uthi uyaqhubeka lapho.
Then it flows on to paragraph 9 that I just read, which is your statement that you've appended your signature to. You say, and I'm reading it again for understanding purposes. Then Senzo jumped in as well, and they started assaulting the suspect.
Ithi lana ke wasengenelela naye ke uSenzo base beqala ke ukushaya umsolwa
and screaming at the same time.
Bememeza futhi ke.
Okay, ngiyacabanga ukuthi mhlawumbe igama akalisebenzisile la assaulting elwrong ngoba mina nje bengisho ukuthi kwaba khona iscaffold. USenzo ukusukuma kwakhe wasukuma kwiscaffold after uLongwetwala esegxime waya kumuntu wamphusha waphuma. USenzo wasebaba nescaffold nalowo muntu. So ngiyacabanga mhlawumbe igama lisebenzisela la assaulting ngoba nani nake ngalisebenzisa la phikiswa.
I think here the word assaulting is the incorrect word which he used, because as I said that it was a scuffle after Longwe had gone out of court, and you, the witness referring to the counsels, used it before, and there was it was disputed.
Let me show you, Mr. Twala, and I'll read the next paragraph to show you. This is not talking in the context of the main scuffle. It's talking about Longwe grabbing the firearm from the first suspect and doing whatever. Then you say, Senzo then joins in. But let me read this to show you that it's not within the context that you want us to say. Let me read the 10th paragraph. It reads as follows. Then Zandi's boyfriend let go of the firearm from which from which was still in the suspect's hands and ran from the house. So you see the context that this statement is made. It's not within the bigger picture of the second scuffle once Longo had left the house.
Lana ke uthi le statement asikhulumi ngalesi scuffle lesi wena okhulume ngaso lesi emuva kokuthi uLongo esephumileke ifundeka ngaleni yaseke iboyfriend kaZandi idedela ke isibhamu esasise sesandleni sakhe umsolwa wase ebaleka ephuma ke endlini.
Ngiyacabanga ukuthi njengoba ngisho futhi namanje ukuthi indlela ekubhalwe ngayo la akuyona shuthi indlela mina engangimbekele ngayo lo muntu.
I think as I've said that the man
methi wadedela isibhamu akaza dedela isibhamu ngoba ngakuchaza lokho ukuthi akazange azasibamba isibhamu wampusha.
It's not written in the manner in which I said it. So when he said that, when he says here, he let go of the firearm because he never even grabbed or held the firearm. He just pushed him.
Nakalesikhathi njengoba echaza ukuthi kwaba khona igunshot yaba khona ekitchen njengoba ngichaza ukuthi uSenzo ngambuka ngaphambana naye eminyango so yena akakubhalile la ukuthi kwenzeke ekitchen lokho.
Even with when the shot went off, it happened in the kitchen, and I looked at Senzo, or I saw Senzo when our paths crossed, and it's not mentioned here.
Now, let's not belabor that because I know exactly what this statement says. And in fact, let me put it this way. During your evidence in chief, in cross-examination, and I'm going to give you props and brownies, you are a very brilliant person. You correct an editor, 10-chapter book over 2 days, correct?
Angisho ke lokho ukuthi umuntu ohlakaniphe kakhulu ke ngoba ubusushiya ngaphambilini la walungisa khona ke umbhali wencwadi ke enama chapter awu10 wena ke wakwenza lokho ngeinsuku ezimbili.
Yebo ngakwenza lokho.
Yes,
in 2 days and futhi ngake ngize ngamcorrect ngoba ikhuluma ngami. So into ekhuluma ngami obviously ngizoyicorrect ngoba noma yena kuthi uyayibhala akayazi yena ukuthi angabhala into ekhuluma ngami bese mina ngiyayidedela ngibe ngazi kahle ukuthi ayikho kanjalo.
Because what I corrected,
so that's why I'm correct. Hayi ngoba ngibrilliant
with me because he was writing about me. That's why I corrected him, not because I am a brilliant person. I'm brilliant.
You are very brilliant. Take credit. I'm giving you one. At the ID parade in Pietermaritzburg, when you saw that somebody with similar features was taking photographs, his photographs was taken, and you didn't want to falsely implicate somebody in the commission of this offense, you took it up and corrected then and then with the IO to say, listen, I didn't say that's him. He's got similar features, but I'm not saying it's him. You did that, correct?
Yeah.
But both you and the witness, I'm making my life difficult. You are making very long statements.
Sorry, Mr. Jonas.
Both of you. Pietermaritzburg, walungisa noma waba kwesimo sokuthi ubalungise. Awuzange uchithe isikhathi uma ubona bethatha izithombe zomuntu wena oshilo ukuthi akusiyena kodwa unama features asimilar wabalungisa ngaleso sikhathi awuzange ubayeke uhamba ubuye ngelinye ilanga.
Yebo kuyiqiniso lokho.
That's true.
And even the incident with Miss Joyce Buthelezi, as you testified about yesterday, when she wanted you to make a particular statement or put words in your mouth, you stood your ground and said, I'm not writing this because it's not me. The point that I'm raising is this. You append your signature here. Within the context of those three examples I made, you wouldn't agree to sign this statement if you haven't gone through it and if it's got these allegations that you now seek to distance yourself from.
Nakubuthelezi wakwenza ke lokho. Ubuthelezi ufuna ukukhuluma into ongazi lutho ngayo noma engakuhlanganisike wemake wathi cha ngeke ngikwenze lokho. Kodwa lana ke wase ufaka ke i-signature yakho wasayinda ke lana kodwa ke ubona ukuthi kukhona ke lokho ongahambisani nako noma ongakushilo wena kodwa wase uyasayinda.
Engizokusho la ukuthi mina prior before ukushona kwaSenzo ngikaze ngibhale i-statement angikaze ngibe kulekisimo engikusona manje nje bengikhuluma nawe. So when it comes to lokuqondisa kwegwego lezi zinto ezazenzeka, it's because of the case of izinto engiyibonile ezenzakalile prior to the case. njengoba sila enkantolo manje. So
before
that's why
Senzo's
ngihlezi ngi-alert manje.
Before Senzo's death, I had never been, or I've never deposed of statements. I've never been in the situation that I am in right now. Now the corrections that then happened, it is because of things that happened before this case, and that is why I am now alert at this stage.
Then finally, on that very same 826, I'm going to read from paragraph 12. You say, and I quote, "When I ran out of the house, I noticed that the suspect with a firearm was still inside the house, and he was standing in the kitchen. After jumping to the other side, I heard screams, and together with the neighbors, we jumped into the hall back to the Kumalo household." I'll end it there. Do you see that?
Yebo.
Yes.
That's not what Kaya Nash has testified about. He did not jump, or his father, for that matter, did not jump into the yard with you. But in your statement, you say you and the neighbors jumped back into the Kumalo
Lokho
household.
kushilo lana akusikona akakushilo ukhayeni ukuthi bajumpa nawe ke bebuyela khona kwakhumalo.
Yebo kusho ukhaya lokho nami lokho engikushoyo nami.
That's what Kaya says. It's also that is also saying what I'm saying.
Now let me go to 113, please, and I'm going to address only 2 paragraphs from that statement. And this statement, sorry, before that, the 826, we believe that it be admitted as an exhibit according to Mr. Balo U1.
Okay. U1,
my lord. Now, the second one that I'm going to refer you to is A113. It was taken by, my lord, it's that surname that you like, Richard Abednego Shibiri, not Shiburi.
Shibiri.
It's Shibiri, my lord.
Okay.
And it was taken
Sorry, just before you proceed, this statement, U1, who wrote it? This one.
This is straight nine lanes.
Did he write it himself, the witness here?
Oh, sorry.
Or was it written by the officiating policeman?
my understanding from his testimony, he'll correct me. He says he was narrating the story.
That's not the question.
Yes.
Who wrote the statement? I talk.
Yes.
The policeman is here.
Yes.
I can assure you, the day I'm arrested, I will write the statement myself. That's what I want to clarify.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. Okay. I'll also do the same, man.
Yes.
Now the second one.
So just clear that up. Who wrote the statement? Because we talk loosely, not legalistically. I made a statement.
Yes.
When I narrated a statement, and it was written down by the Commissioner of Oaths.
Yes. But I placed that question to him. Man.
Okay, it's fine.
Yes, I did place that question to him. Now the second one, it's A113. Do you recall making this statement, Mr. Tola? It was made on the
14th of December.
Sorry?
Okay, can I first just peruse it?
Yes, check the date for us, please.
No, it says before that he wants to see what it's referring to.
All right.
Clarify that. It's fine, you can ask me. It says forever.
It says it will take forever, you can ask him.
Okay. Now, this statement as well, how was it made?
As far as I'm not now it takes up on 14th of December 2017 at Durban.
Yes.
Senzo kanjani ke sona?
Lesi statement if ngikhumbula kahle ngibona lesibongo sithi Shapiri if kuyena lo babe ngimcabangayo omude the statement wangenzise eBish.
Okay, if it is the gentleman, because I see here it says Shabiri, and if it is the person that I'm thinking of, it was taken at the beach.
So, on official duty, you are having cocktails and margaritas and making statements. And how was it made? Was it, did you narrate the story to him and then he wrote the statement down, or did you personally reduce the statement to writing?
Kwakwenzeka kanjani ke wawukhuluma abhale phansi noma wakunikeza ukuthi wena uyibhalele wena?
Firstly, I wish I was drinking cocktails at the beach. He fetched me M17. If it's 2017, he fetched me M17. Ngangisebenza eMasgrave.
He fetched me.
Proceeded to a beach. Just to clarify the first part that you said.
So you fetched me from work. Sorry. We then went to the beach. I was working at Musgrave.
And
we then went to the beach. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Okwesibili kuzo zonke istatement ukuze lo mbuzo uzoba right uzo clarify kuzo zonke istatement esengangazisho angikaze ngibhalele statement ngihlezi ngibhalelwa yibona abantu laba basuke abeze kumina angikaze ngibhala ngaze nginika iphepha nepen to wabhala statement sakho.
So that this question gets clarified once and for all, I've never written down my own statement. All these people that would come to me for the purposes of a statement, of taking a statement, would be writing the statement.
So ibona basuke bebhala abanye ke babezofika ne-statement zabanye abantu bangitshela ukuthi ba-clarify into esuke ishiwo omunye umuntu kumina.
Others would approach me with other people's statements and then ask me to clarify what the other person would have said in their statement.
So yeah, all in all ngiyakhuluma umuntu abhale into asuke ayibhalayo.
So all in all, I would speak or I'd be talking, the person would then write whatever it is he or she would be writing.
Now, with your vivid memory of the person that took the statement, Officer Shibiri, was this statement read back to you after Shibiri noted it down?
Ngayimuvake kokuthi uShibiri ebhalile phansi ke lokho wena ke omtshele kona ke ingaba wase yakufundela ke othi manje ke sengiqedile ubhala statement ngizokufundela ke ukuze wena ushoke ukuthi cha le yiyona le cha akusiyona ngaba wakufundela yini?
Angikhumbuli ngifundela nje bese ngishilo personally because nje bengisho ukuthi Mr Shibiri mekuthi uyena lo baba omude ngizoshuthi angikhumbuli ngibambe lapho nje when it comes to yena okwamanje.
I don't remember, as I'm saying that if it is indeed the person that I think Shibiri is the tall person, let me just hold it there for now.
And having the statement been reduced to writing, you were satisfied with the contents because did you sign this statement?
What signed the statement?
Yes.
I think this is my signature, yes.
In all the pages at the bottom and on the signing page with the police.
On my page la yenzansi. Naleli semuva futhi ke lokugcina.
Yes.
Yes.
And also I see that where
not on the last page.
Yes.
The signature it's fine.
I see that. And then also I see that in some paragraphs errors were made and cancelled out, and each time there's a signature and then initials MT next to the corrections that were made. Did you make the initial MT or the signature on top is yours? Which one is yours there?
La kwenziwe khona ke iphutha kuyasayindwa bese kubahle no MT phakathi kwe signature no MT yiphe yakho ilako uma kwenziwe lokho la kusho ukuthi kwenza kubhale noma kunephutha lenziwe kune signature kuno MT yiphe yakho kulezi imbili.
Ngiyacabanga ukuthi ngaba uMT ngoba Mthokozi Sithwala kodwa isignature kuyona yami.
I think it would be MT because that's Mthokozi Sithwala, but the signature is not mine.
Now I'm only gonna deal with maybe 3 paragraphs from that statement, and you confirm that this is the document that you made with Officer Shibiri.
Uyavuma ukuthi wasenza no Shibiri lesi?
Ngiyakhumbula isikhona statement engasenza naye yebo.
I remember there is a statement I made with him, yes.
Yeah, so it's going to be YouTube. Yes. Now, let me start with paragraph 6 thereof, and it reads,
Nginemali umsolwa wayegqoke ihoodie noma ijacket enehoodie noma ihoodie kanye futhi ke ihoodie leyo yayimboze ikhanda lakhe ngangibona ama dreadlocks ayevelileke kuyona ihoodie eduze kwendlebe zakhe.
Now, the point that I want to clear, which suspect are we talking about here? Because my understanding of your evidence was that the suspect with dreadlocks was wearing a hat and the second suspect was wearing a hoodie. So what are we talking about here?
Sikhuluma ngani ke manje lana ngoba uma ngikuzwile kahle ke mina kubufakazi wakho ukuthi lo owayinama dreads wayifake isigqoko lona owesibili ke omude efake ihoodie.
Yebo kunjalo besiqala la ngasekuqaleni ngoba uqale ku number 5 suspect yebo ayiphethe isibhamu isibhamu ke nje bese ngishilo ukuthi angisakwazi ukuthi ngisichaze manje ukuthi sinjani and la ngangibona nje bengishilo ukuthi ngibone ngabona okokuqala la ngaphambili.
Okay. Indeed, the suspect was carrying a firearm, and indeed, as I said, that I won't be able to describe the firearm, and indeed, I saw the front portion of the firearm.
And then when it comes to ususpect ke edemand amamali ne cell phone ngiyacabanga ukuthi lokho vele ngakushilo iphutha ke liba la khona uShibhiri esebhala khona indaba yehoodie ihoodie yayiqoka lo wesibili nje bese ngishilo nala and then lo qala wayigqoka isigqoko isona lesengangibona kusona ama dreads la kuyena so ngiyacabanga ukuthi iphutha lakhe ke lapho ukuthi asho aphambanisa isigqoko ne hoodie.
As I've already said, that the suspect demanded cell phones and money, but now the mistake starts here now where he mentions the hoodie, because I've already said that the one with the dreadlocks was wearing a hat, and that's where I could see the dreadlocks. So he's now twisting here or confusing the hoodie as well as the hat.
But you see, in fact, let me leave that one so that I'm fair to you. Let's go to paragraph 8 thereof, and I read. I can't remember the color of the hoodie jacket the suspect was wearing. I can remember that the second suspect was wearing a hat, but I don't know the color of the hat. I don't see the second suspect. I didn't see the second suspect properly, and I cannot describe him or identify him.
Angikhumbuli ke umbala we hoodie jacket umsola owayegqokile ngiyakhumbula ke ukuthi owesibili umsola wayegqoke isigqoko kodwa ke angikwazi umbala wesigqoko angikhumbuli angizange ngimbone ke umsola wesibili kahle futhi ke angeke ngikwazi ukuthi ngimchazeke noma ngimkhombe umsola wesibili.
Going back to lentade ngisho ukuthi I think kube khona a misunderstanding between yami no Shabir, for which futhi ngoba uShabir angithuki. So engikushoyo ukuthi la nje bese ngichazelile mina ukuthi kukanjani yena uphambanise ihoodie nesigqoko kuphela.
As I've already said that there was a misunderstanding between myself and Shabiri, and because it's Shabiri, I am that doesn't what's the word now? That doesn't amaze me because it is Shabiri. So, but here he confused the hoodie as well as the hat.
But you see that you agree with that description that you give here. You even signed here. Oh no, let me leave it. Let me not be unfair to you. I'll leave it at that because I see the correction was only for the scratch part, so I don't want to be taking that it's for the whole paragraph. Then let me just see if there's anything that I'm missing from the last paragraph. Then I should be done with my. Now this one is cross-examination. But before I conclude, I see it's only 5 minutes. Can I take instructions? Then I'll wrap up.
Okay. Is it one?
Thank you, Madam. That's it. I don't have any further questions for the witness now.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Nisi. Yeah, 1 or 2. If you go to the third one, I will disallow it. Okay, let's continue.